Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to the Digitally Uploaded Podcast, the companion podcast to digitallydownloaded.net. My name is Alan. I'm going to be your host for this week. And with me, I have Matt. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Alan. It is the worst morning for me, I swear to God. It's terrible.
Okay.
It's terrible. So I was going to make myself a coffee, right? Because it's Saturday morning and it was going to be my nice introduction to the day, to the weekend. I do enjoy my weekends. So I went to the kitchen and then there were no coffee pods for the little Nescafe thing that we've got. So I was very sad about that. But I thought, okay, I've got to back up. I'll just go and make myself a proper coffee using ground beans and stuff. And then I realized I have no filters, so I can't make a drip coffee either. So I'm actually doing this podcast without a coffee for the first time in the history of the podcast. And I'm very sad about this, and I don't know how I'm going to handle the stress.
Just do some cocaine instead. And we also have Trent here as well.
Yes, I am
At
also
least,
here.
At least I'm not Randy Pritchard. I mean, that's the thing I say every morning to myself.
Matt's rant is just like pushing into my bubble space of introduction. It's just like...
I tried to veto the anger of Randy Pitchford, and it just came back harder and faster than ever before, like a hedge.
You're not Randy Pritchard, though, either, Trent, are you?
Well, I don't know, because I was about to be like, hey, guys, and you're just like, oh, Randy Pitchard, and then it's just like, like...
It is becoming it's becoming a weekly segment at this point, I feel, that just... Let's see what Randy's done in the last week. What nonsense has he...
I actually think we should read out this tweet that he's done last week.
I agree.
Because it is a masterpiece of a tweet. All right, so we've got, I tend to favor curiosity and disfavor setting up a feeling and empathetic creature for discomfort. Yet among the negative reactions I felt watching this, there's also some other stuff that isn't exactly negative. It makes me curious about how other people react. And that tweet was about an animal abuse video that he posted up for reasons.
Yeah,
Randy, he's a good sort, Randy. He's a great person.
This man needs to go and live under a rock in Alaska. I cannot believe he's real.
He's just lost it completely. I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of masterful marketing strategy to make everybody hate Borderlands 3 so they buy it. I do not know. That's about the only thing I can understand, though.
Well, the thing that makes me really happy is that the responses to that tweet are all just pictures of clowns. And I really like that. Because it's not necessarily rude, but it's like you're an idiot, which I guess is pretty rude. Right.
He did get ratioed to Hellenbacker for that tweet, which was good.
Oh, I wonder why. Right, the next time that you tweet something about animal abuse, I want you to just make a strange response to it that goes along the lines of, it all really comes down to relativism and perspective. What I thought I was thinking is not what you were thinking that I was thinking, and Jung suggests otherwise. Just lose your mind. Just say like a whole bunch of words. Talk about collectivism. Screw it.
You know, the interconnectivity of things, that's also important to talk about.
Yeah, talk about how Borderlands 3 is going to collect your soul. Anyway, we're going to go to some music. And welcome back. It's the morning, so we're all a bit asleep today, which is actually kind of in theme for our first topic, which is exciting. If you've been following the news, you have been probably told by Nintendo to go the fuck to sleep. And I like that. Pokemon Sleep is a new mobile phone game from the Pokemon Company, which will turn sleeping into entertainment, quote, much in the same way that Pokemon Go turned walking into entertainment. That was a direct quote from Tsunekazu Ishihara, who is the CEO of the Pokemon Company. So, I don't know. I think this is really funny. I think the idea of a company like monetizing and gamifying your sleep is the funniest thing ever, and definitely won't end up being a huge moral problem in the future. But that's all right.
I don't know how it works. Is it like you get better Pokemon the longer you sleep?
Well, that's because we haven't really heard anything about it.
How long do I have to sleep to get a Farfetch'd? Because that's really all I care about.
You just want to get leaked in the night.
Yeah, I want to get leaked.
Well, it comes with you get a new Pokemon Go Plus,
What?
and then you strap it to your wrist, and then you go to sleep, and it tracks your heart rate and stuff. So I assume it's based off the quality of your sleep. The deeper sleep you're in, the more Pokemon maybe show up, or like walking, or some sort of sciencey thing.
So basically, it's like a sleeping app, but with Pokemon as a reward. Like
Yes.
one of those apps that track your sleeping rhythms and your biohazards or whatever.
Yes, then you can trade it into Pokemon Go, and then you can trade that into your new Pokemon games. Like, it's all about collecting things.
Yeah,
Which is
endless collecting of crap. Well, that's I guess the thing, because it wasn't just Pokemon Sleep that was announced with this week. There was 3 other things that were announced, wasn't there? There's a new Detective Pikachu coming to Nintendo Switch, which would be good, but only if it has Ryan Reynolds as the voice. That would be great. Why can't he voice Pikachu in the games? That would be awesome. Then there's Pokemon Home, which is not a game, but a cloud service that you dump all your Pokemon into and then withdraw them to whatever other games you're playing at the moment, which is cool because you can catch Pokemon in Pokemon Go, or apparently Pokemon Sleep now, and then throw them into your Switch games and stuff.
Well,
So
see,
that's a good thing, because
I
people who like
know-
Pokemon now have an infrastructure to enjoy their Pokemon contents wherever they go.
the thing that
It's infrastructure, Alan. It's infrastructure.
I'm fairly skeptical about this whole thing, but also pushing healthy sleep patterns is probably a good thing, in the same way that Pokemon Go did make walking a thing for a lot of people who usually wouldn't.
Alan's still stuck on Pokemon Sleep, isn't he?
He is. I didn't even get to the last one before Alan decided to segue back to Pokemon Sleep.
Because we talked about Pokemon Sleep. It's just
So the last one is Pokemon Masters, which is apparently a proper Pokemon games coming to us to smartphones via Dina. So, yeah, it'll be free to play, and you'll have to pay lots of money to get a Snorlax or something.
I'm going
Which
to
you can then use
buy
with
a
Pokemon
Snippy.
Sleeps.
Well, speaking about Snorlax, you can get your Snorlax right now in Pokemon Go. They're all asleep. It's so awesome. You go around, and instead of a normal Pokemon being all happy and jumping up and down, there's this giant Snorlax in the middle of a road asleep.
Yeah, it gets run over by a car. It's great.
It's AR, not real life.
It's all real life when you think about it, Trent.
Pokemon isn't dumping giant Snorlaxes all over the roads. That would be a bit creepy.
I think the thing that would worry me most about that is that Snorlax would probably, like, he wouldn't get hurt from a car crash, I feel like he'd be safe.
No, it'd be the car that got hurt.
Yeah.
It'd be totaled.
Yeah, the car would be hurt, man.
Yeah, it'd be totaled.
Yeah, and then he'll wake up and do his usual yawny thing and be like, stomp away.
Yeah, I can respect that. That's a high quality play.
I'm amazed people are still playing Pokemon Go.
Well, see, that's the thing is that I actually loaded up Pokemon Go for the first time in, like, I want to say a year and a half the other day, and I sort of like got into it again and was sort of like, no, not again. I can't do this. Can't
See, as
deal
a
with this.
somewhat regular player, because I still turn it on like every 5 seconds, but I'm too lazy to leave the house, so I don't really catch that many Pokemon. And so, as that type of player, you know, it's definitely progressed, and there's more things. There's more generations now. We're up to what, Gen 4 now, like, and it's near the end. So Gen 5 is probably around like next year. Like, they're hitting through like targets pretty quickly. Like, things are out, and you know, gets you out and excited and walking around and catching things, and there's a lot more shinies these days and community events and those sort of things. It's great.
I always thought Pokemon Go was a bit of a missed opportunity because of that walking thing. I don't know. I would have liked to have seen more tourism organizations or museums or somebody, you know, those kinds of groups encouraging people to, you know, explore via the Pokemon Go app. It would have been nice to see more, because I assume that they still have that thing where as you're walking around, there's some landmarks that show up and you can.
Yeah, but you
get-
can't request them anymore. There used to be a stage. Well, you can, but so there used to be a stage where anyone could request them, and basically they got overwhelmed with people requesting them, and they stopped that. And it hasn't been a thing for ages. But now, if you're over level 30 in the original Niantic game, you can then register, and you can then request things from in-app, and then that shows up. That map data shows up in Pokemon Go. So that's what people usually do to request landmark stuff.
Yeah, and that would have been nice to see that expanded on, I guess. I thought that was always such a good opportunity for tourism, especially to latch onto that and get people walking around cities and visiting places. I guess there would be some people that do it, but it just never became a focus of Pokemon Go, which I found a bit of a waste. And that's not just that game. Niantic's done that with Harry Potter as well.
Harry Potter's horrible. Like, can we segue into Harry Potter? Like, seriously?
No, we can't. No. We're talking about Pokemons.
No,
Harry Potter. Unless Harry Potter is a Pokemon that you can catch and throw into a ball.
Well, it works the same way. It's like literally the same game, but it's like over complicated. It's got more buttons and more things. Instead of like catching something, you like cast a spell on it, and then you get a stamp, and then you can stamp your book and say you've caught this particular like Harry Potter creature thing.
It sounds exactly like the Pokedex.
It does, but it's way too more complicated. There's spells and all this other stuff, and it's just not fun. It's not a fun game.
Well, I hate to tell you, neither's Pokemon Go.
No, Pokemon Go is great. It's like, you know, just chilling out, you know, walking around. Oh yeah, got my Pokemon.
It's really not a
5
good game.
seconds. You know, don't look at my Google Play history because that's got way too much purchases. That sort of thing. That's what Pokemon Go is. Harry Potter's like, oh, I did a spell. This is great. Like, I love Harry Potter, but just can't get into it.
Yeah,
Right.
Pokemon Go is not a good game. I stand by that. It's mildly addictive, and that's kind of the point. But I don't know. It's not
good because it gets you walking around, and I like that.
Well, that's the point. I mean, why didn't they do more with that? Why didn't the tourism agencies getting bored?
Well, that's because
do official Pokemon Go tour maps and stuff.
Can you ever imagine anyone from the Australian government being like, "Hey, this Pokemon thing's pretty good. Let's use it." I don't know why it comes from.
I saw. I don't know if it was real or not. I saw a Navy poster. I think it was Navy for maybe the U.S. military or something. And it was like, if you want to catch Pokemon around the world, sign up for the Navy. And I thought, yeah, that's pretty clever.
It's very cursed. It's on the level of like Ivan et Niaj.
It's pretty much what I would expect the American military to do. So yeah,
Ivan et Niaj.
If the American military can latch onto the potential of Pokemon to get sign-ups, then I'm sure tourism companies can do it too.
No, they'll do it like 20 years later, while it's dying.
But anyway, Detective Pikachu, that's the highlight of the announcements for me for this week. I really liked the 3DS one. I really, really liked it a lot. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Switch one. Apparently, it's a completely new one. It's not just a port. It's not just a upgrade. It's a proper new Detective Pikachu game, which will be good. I don't know about the movie. I still haven't seen it. But I really like the game. I really, really like the game. So I'm happy to see that it obviously sold well enough to justify a next one, a Switch one.
Good. That's lovely. Well, shall we have some Pokemon music and then go to a break?
I don't know what Pokemon music we can use.
The
I
battle
will.
theme.
Let's do Lavender Town from Blue.
No, we're not doing
We
Lavender.
always do Lavender Town.
Lavender Town is the best one. It's so cool. It's so creepy.
No, we're doing.
We should do some music from Pokemon the movie, the thing, Detective Pikachu.
I think we're gonna get
Rhyme City.
And welcome back from that. So there was another big sort of release announcement thingo this week, and that was the most confusing trailer that you probably will have seen in the last year, as well as the most confusing series of tweets that you would have seen in the last year.
Call of Duty.
It's not Call of Duty. I'm actually okay, but to divert quickly, Call of Duty.
I mean, that did actually happen.
Yeah, it did happen. It did, and it looks pretty alright. I might buy that. Anyway.
Yeah, you would.
I would.
You would.
You're super right. I would. Yeah. So, Death Stranding finally has had its gameplay shown, and it looks a bit Breath of the Wildy, which I'm a little bit confused by. That's all right.
I think the real news is that it's actually coming out this year.
It is also coming out. Yes.
November 8.
Yes.
November 8. Yeah. So I think we all assumed that it was going to be delayed into PlayStation 5 and beyond.
Because it looks too good.
But it's actually coming out this year, which I guess that might be Sony trying to push Kojima to get his butt, into action because they don't have anything else coming out this year. So that might be their big Christmas title. I guess it is. And yeah, it looks like a thing. I mean, Kojima's a bit of a dick, but
no, he's not. So Matt hates Kojima because of reasons. I don't
hate him. I just think I think that he tries to be all pretentious and stuff, and he doesn't have anything to back it up.
He absolutely has the right to be, though, given the fact.
No, his games are all quite simple. They're wordy, and that's the problem I think that I have with his games. They're very simple ideas, and he just tries to spin them into something they're not. Tries to make them.
Have you played NGS2?
Yes, and it doesn't deserve. I mean, it doesn't warrant the themes that it goes into doesn't warrant the length of the cutscenes and the way that the game's presented. It tries to be more than it is. And I think that Death Stranding looks like it might be similar.
So all the
based
dead
on-
babies just freak you out? Well, not dead babies.
well, it's
babies.
like, I mean, the basic premise based on what I've seen of it and what Kojima's tweeted out and statements he's made and all that kind of stuff, it's basically a reaction to Donald Trumpisms.
No, it's a
No, it is
adaptation of the stick and the rope story.
He's using that as a way of making a commentary on the Donald Trumpisms of the world. Like his basic idea of this game is that it's about bringing community together, and that the way that America in particular, because it's set in America, the way that American society is at the moment is divided and fragmented, and that is not good for society, which is a fine point to make, and it's certainly something I agree with. But as a response to that, which he's obviously observed, he's then thrown all this surrealist kind of crap in there, which doesn't do anything. I don't know. Maybe the
game yet. You don't know.
Maybe the full game will be more cohesive, but based on what we've seen so far, it's basically a very simple idea with surrealist stuff thrown over the top because it's Kojima, and he'll get away with it. And that is exactly what his other games are like. They're all like that. They're all very simple ideas, and then he just throws stuff over the top because he gets away with it. And it's not cohesive. His games don't come across as very cohesive to me. And I
incredibly disagree, but that's okay.
I think they're entertaining enough, but I don't think they're these great works of video game art as people like to talk about them as. It's not like it's a Yoko Taro game where everything is actually designed together. It's much simpler than that. And I don't have a problem with Kojima's games as such. I enjoy them, but I don't think that he's this paragon of artist. He's not this artist. He's not Orson Welles, the video game dude. And I guess that's why I tend to respond differently to this stuff than other people.
Yeah.
See, I agree with Matt. I'm very with Japanese games. I'm very like the interconnectivity of things with a lot of Japanese developers just is very fragmented. Like you've got, like I'm the kind of person like if I boot up a game and the menu system is shit, like that, like just drags me out of the absorption in the game. Like I just don't get into the game because the menu is like Comic Sans. The background picture is like nothing. Oh, that's a great game.
I'm not quite sure I'm on the same page as you there.
No, I don't understand.
I think Death Stranding is. I think it looks very well made. It looks very, very well made. It looks like it's going to be a great game on that level, and I think people are going to really enjoy it. And I'm sure it's going to be a big hit. So I've got no issues with any of that. I just, like I said,
everything seems weirdly glossy though.
I just have an issue with how Kojima handles his themes because I don't think he needs to be as wordy and verbose with them.
Oh no, he needs an editor, absolutely, and hopefully this game will have an editor.
Well, it doesn't look like it does because all that baby shit makes no sense.
And you don't know that yet.
Well, he shouldn't be throwing it in. He shouldn't be throwing it in just because it's weird surrealist stuff, unless he's going to make a point with it, and that includes the trailers.
Isn't the baby shit part of the whole spoiler?
Spoilers, Matt.
Well, if you're not going to do spoilers, then don't put it in the trailer at all. If you're only going to present, if you're not going to explain something, you shouldn't be putting it into the trailer. I don't think
it creates interest.
No, it doesn't.
What do you mean?
I think people have this idea that surrealist. The style, the surrealism. I think people have this idea that it's just weird for the sake of being weird, but it's not. There's a point to it. It's not like Salvador Dali.
How do you know that it's not got a point to it?
Because it's not in the trailer. If he's not going to explain it, then he shouldn't put it in there. He
has 2 minutes.
Well, then he shouldn't. Again, he shouldn't put it in there.
Okay, well,
if you go back to compare to Yoko Taro, if you go and look at how Nier Automata was presented, they never put the weird stuff in there just for the sake of it. It was the trailers and everything, all the promotional material of Nier Automata leading up to its release was quite self-explanatory.
It's because I'm going to say that the majority of a Western audience doesn't know who Yoko Taro is, so they need to sell that game to people who aren't expecting something to be suddenly insane.
Well, again, if people think
Kojima has the right to do that because his games have been exceedingly popular in the West. Yoko Taro necessarily didn't have the same affordance, unfortunately.
It's got nothing to do with his popularity, though.
It definitely does.
It has to do with the fact that Kojima, again and again and again, has thrown this surrealist stuff into his games without it being there for any reason. So for him to do it at Death Stranding again is a big red flag for me, because it means like...
Have you played Metal Gear Solid?
I have. What about what I'm saying doesn't...
Have you? It's okay. I'm going to use an example of Metal Gear Solid 3. Ghosts suddenly appear when you're walking through that swamp thing, right? That is not real. That is very surrealist. And then having the discussion, if you kill someone in that game, their ghost will appear and it will shout at you.
That's not surrealism.
No. But then, like, you have these like leaders who are like orchestrating this whole thing. Like, it's very strange.
No. Surrealism is more like in Metal Gear Solid. Which one was it? The one that was,
for example, like I'm not going to defend for
the one with Ocelot as
all of them.
The first boss, as the first boss fight.
Three. Set in the jungle.
Yeah, like that is more an example of surrealism with the way that he behaves and his meowing and all that kind of nonsense. That doesn't do anything. I mean,
that's the exact. That's what I was.
The character's name is Ocelot, so he meows. This is not deep. This is not smart. This is dumb characterization. Dumb literal characterization, and it is exactly the kind of thing that I'm talking about with Kojima. He has this, like, people have this impression of him that he's like this deep thinker about how he makes his games, but he's not. He just takes the literal and then makes it even more literal. And then I don't think people understand.
So he's an absurdist, is what you're trying to say?
Well, I guess you could probably argue that he's a little bit of he tries to be an absurdist, but again, it's not like he's Samuel Beckett. It's not like he's Tom Stoppard. He's not particularly good at this stuff.
See, I thought all the concepts have already been explained. Like, the babies are all part of the fact that, you know, when you die, you're not really dead, and you just go to an underworld thing, like the upside down world in like Stranger Things.
It's called Hades.
And then, you know, you walk around a bit, and then you come back alive after like facing your trials and realizing that deep down that you're a person, and then you're a human again, but you're changed. And that's like the symbolism that like death changes people.
No, I do not think that's the case. Well, the name Death Stranding is a concept where whales will just beach themselves for no reason and just die. I think that's going to definitely tie into it. It has to. Like, some like metaphor there for the world is
that we're all whales and that we're just going to our deaths voluntarily. Is that the metaphor?
Because the rain ages you instantly in this game world. Like, that's why you wear the suit, to stop yourself from aging instantly, because the world of Hades is coming into the real world or some nonsense. Look, I don't know. I haven't played the game. I don't know. It could be nonsense.
So what you're saying is the baby is your baby, and then you get rain on you, and then you turn into a human, and you're like, oh shit, I have to put a suit on, and then I
think the baby could literally just be a representation of innocence or something.
I don't think it'll be nonsense. Like, I don't think anything about this game will be nonsense. Once again, I don't think it'll be as deep as people will no doubt chalk it up to be. But we are in an industry where people went berserk over God of War as though it was the Citizen Kane of video games, and I'm just tapping out of all this bullshit with AAA. It's all dumb.
Yeah.
Especially
we will see in a year or in like 3 years roughly after Death Stranding comes out if there is a research paper written about it, like Witcher 3 had one. Then I will happily be like, yeah, it's a smart game.
I mean, I want it to be good. I really do. And I'm sure I'll enjoy playing it, but I don't have particular faith in Kojima's ability to tell a story at the moment. So we'll see. We'll see.
Look, worst case scenario, Kojima makes a shit ton of money, because that's the worst case scenario.
I'm sure he will. I mean, if David Cage can do the same thing and make a shit ton of money despite being worse.
Did you see his tweet recently? That was like, I'm so proud of what games like Beyond could do for the entire storytelling world. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. But are you saying a game developer can't be proud of their work, Alan?
No, he was. So the idea about it was like a tweet thing about like respecting other people's games, and he just started talking about how good his own games were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in love with himself. Is our David? But so's Kojima. So
He's just very odd.
what?
He's an
David?
odd man.
David,
Yes.
Kojima, or both of them?
Either.
Odd for different reasons, perhaps, but they're both odd ducks. Let's put it that way.
So a collector's edition of like Death Stranding sold out in like literally like a second. Well, not a second, but like probably an hour.
Oh yeah, it sold out really
Yeah.
quickly because you get that stupid baby lava lamp.
Yeah, that would have been like awesome to have.
Baby lamp.
Who wants a
Baby
lamp?
lamp. Baby lamp.
Baby lamp.
Mom. All right, let's go to music. Frick this.
Metal Gear Solid music.
I
It has
agree.
Miku Baby Shark.
No. Yeah.
something from MGS3 that has.
Let's go MGS3 because I love that game.
Yeah, that has good music. Let's do that one.
It's very smart music design.
Yeah, because Kojima didn't make it.
He worked very heavily with Harry Gregson Williams on it.
Yeah, but Harry does his own thing, I'm sure.
He doesn't. Well, he was the reason that it was actually chosen to do a like 60s setting because he wanted to do spy music and he wanted to do jungle music. Yeah, and Kojima was like, "All right, cool, we'll do this then."
Actually, Kojima does have a good. He does bring talent together. Let's put it that way. He's very good at that. He seems to be a really well-liked dude. So, because, I mean, he was going to do something with Mr. Del Toro, which would have been great if PT...
He's in there. No, he's in Death Stranding.
No, I mean, he was going to actually do something on the creative side with Del Toro in the horror genre with that PT thing.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
That would have been great, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, getting Mads my man.
Mads is great. I
love Mads. He's
I trust any project that has him on board because I feel like he knows his shit.
Except for Marvel movies.
No, but he knows that he likes money.
Doctor Strange was beyond bad. I'm sorry.
It was pretty strange.
I found Doctor Strange to be okay.
No.
It's a Marvel movie.
No.
It's a Marvel movie.
How do you have the talent? How do you have the talent of Benedict and then let him be something so boring as that Doctor Strange version? I mean, I went into that movie.
He's grown into his own in consecutive.
No, I went into that Doctor Strange movie fully expecting a performance of the quality of his turn in Star Trek, like that awesome voice and that awesome presence as Khan. I expected Doctor Strange, the Khan version, and I didn't get that, and I was very disappointed. But anyway, Kojima's not working with Doctor Strange. He is working with Mads, and Mads is great.
Mads was very, very good as Hannibal.
He was great. Actually, the first time I saw Mads was the King Arthur movie, and he was one of the few redeeming lights in that.
Like movie. The 2003 King Arthur movie?
Not the Guy Ritchie one. The Clive Owen one. Where
that's a long time ago.
Yeah, so I saw him in that one, and he was great. And
fucking hell.
In an otherwise pretty boring film, he was great as the bad dude in Casino Royale.
He was
so good.
What's his name? La Chiffre. Yeah, La Chiffre.
Yeah.
He was great.
He was so good. He was actually better than even the book, because I read that book. He was better than that, than the Chief.
I actually really like Casino Royale. I think it's probably my favorite Bond film.
It's good.
Great.
That scene where he gets his balls just absolutely fucking stomped, though, is the most painful thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is actually a section, a word for word, a copy of what happens in the book. Actually, he gets absolutely brutalized in the book.
It's very bad.
The only thing I didn't like about Casino Royale was the theme song. I like the artist, but I didn't think it was a very Bond song.
Yeah, I'd like Adele to just write all the themes from now on.
I really liked
Skyfall.
Skyfall.
That's Adele.
No,
Skyfall was it Adele? Yeah.
Skyfall was Adele.
Sam. What's his name?
Spectre.
Yeah.
I like Spectre. Sam. What's his name?
Sam Smith.
No, Spectre's horrible.
I love that one.
A horrible song. No,
that's a great song. Did you hear, Alan? Did you hear the Radiohead one?
There's a Radiohead one.
That was good.
So Radiohead was actually asked to write a Bond song. I think it was for Quantum of Solace.
Oh no!
And they wrote the most spectacular song, and it's an amazing song. And then they went with Jack fucking Black or whatever his name is, and that
Jack Black.
Well, I feel like it fits the quality of the movie, though. You gotta have if shit Bond song, shit Bond movie.
No, Radiohead would have made that movie so much.
Jack White and Alicia Keys.
Jack White, that's right. Jack White, not Jack Black. Jack White and Alicia Keys. That was a terrible song. But the Radiohead one was so good. And then because they didn't actually get the contract or whatever it is to put that into the thing, they actually released the song for free. I don't know if you can still find it, but yeah, go and check it out. The Radiohead Bond song is the thing that should have happened but never did.
They made a theme for Spectre.
They made a theme for Spectre, did they, as well?
Oh no.
I thought it was for Quantum of Solace. Maybe it was for Spectre.
No, they did Quantum of Solace, but I'm pretty sure that someone else, most likely Radiohead, did Spectre as well, and it was a lot better than the actual Spectre song as well.
Will you get over it, Trent? That was a Sam.
It was a shit song.
It's a great song. It's a great song.
No, and the pictures and the only good things in the Daniel Craig era are Casino Royale and Skyfall.
No, that's not true, because Skyfall is great, Casino Royale is great, Spectre has some moments, and then Quantum of Solace has the best Bond girl ever. I love her. What's her name?
It's all about
Olga Kurilenko. Olga Kurilenko. I mean, I love her. She's perfect. She's Bond waifu.
So I'm listening to the song now, and this fucking slaps. Holy shit.
It's a great song.
It's fucking Radiohead, my dude.
It's a great song. I told you.
For Spectre.
It's for Spectre, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yo, this is sick. All right. Sorry. I got distracted. What are we doing for the final section?
I don't know. I thought I thought we're still going on the last section.
Are we?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There is no section. It's an
Yeah.
illusion.
It's all just one free flowing conversation at this point.
Fucking hell.
Good luck editing it.
No, I'm ending it as soon as we talk about the music to Thingo.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a pity because it was pretty good content what we're talking about just then.
You know what?
Yeah, our
Fuck.
podcasts need more content. Matt is right there.
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, you're right. No, let's run this through. Fuck, we don't need a third section. Let's faster, more intense.
Faster, more intense.
Anyway, apparently people are listening to this now. I was not aware. I'm just about to listen to a soundtrack. Oh my gosh. Okay.
This is the joy of recording podcasts.
Did we even have a third section in mind?
No, we did not. No,
we
I
had no
think
idea what we were actually going
the
to
idea was that if I had played more of Valhalla, we could have talked about that, but I've only played about
I finished Valhalla.
Well, since we are having this ongoing conversation about this free-flowing discussion, Alan, how are you finding Valhalla so far?
Well, I'm 2.5 hours into it, and I don't hate it so far, which is a good sign. I did also want to make a point that I managed to soft lock a visual novel because I am the world's smartest man. I managed to mess up a tutorial to the point where the game would not let me continue. So I had to restart. And I love that I've managed to mess up playing a visual novel.
That's pretty spectacular.
It might be my most like on point like Alan thing to do as well. It pleases me. Yeah, the game's pretty cool. I don't know. I don't mind it yet.
Graphics, good, hey.
Yeah, it's very pretty. It's a lot of detail in that art. I also like. I don't know enough about the writing style yet. I'm not a huge fan of it as of yet, but that could change because I also didn't really like Persona 4's style of writing until I got 10 hours in or whatever. So we'll see how I go. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I think it definitely develops once the other characters start
yeah,
you a lot more. Like at the start of the game, it was very much I'm a bartender. What's up? And they're like, oh well, I can't,
bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I just have a beer. Beer, B-E-E-R, beer, and you're like, no, like that's the start of the game.
That's
really good question.
I'm sorry, Trent. I'm just gonna have to cut in here. You actually thought that. I was like, how the do you mix a beer? A beer is like open a can, pour it in a glass, there you go. But in this game, you actually have to mix beers, which is it weirded me out for the longest time. I know there's a narrative reason for it, but it just weirds me out.
See, my problem with the mixing stuff is I was letting it go for at least 3 or 4 seconds, which was just before it would go to the blending, and that was destroying my drinks, and I couldn't figure out what the fuck I was doing wrong for the longest time, and I'm like, why? This is everything which is in a beer. Why is it not mixing? And then I read something online, I don't know, like a GameStop or GameFAQs. I don't even know if those websites still exist, but I read something there on the internet, and it told me to just click it and then click it instantly. And I'm like, yes, I got a beer.
Yeah, it doesn't really explain that particularly well, does it? That first, I want to say 20 minutes when you're trying to make drinks, I was just a confused son.
But there's no penalty for screwing it up, so it's not.
Yeah, you can fix it. Yeah. But the issue is that I feel bad, Matt, and I don't want the game to make me feel bad.
You feel like you're wasting alcohol, don't you?
Yeah.
You feel like you're wasting good grog.
It's my student attitude to life. Is no, it's still good. Just drink it anyway. Just drink it.
Yes, just because it looks like a wine glass and has some foreign alien language on it, it's still good.
Yeah, you can still put that in your mouth.
Yeah. It's
digitally uploaded.net. You can still put it in your mouth. What a quote.
It's still going to get you pissed. That's the main thing.
Yeah, just
who cares how it tastes?
Yeah, just drink ethanol. Screw it.
Yeah, I did that a lot because you can add.
Wait, you drank ethanol?
No, because you can add as much of the alcoholic component into those drinks as you like.
You can just get them fricked up.
My favorite thing was just making everybody get really pissed. It was good fun.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah, I'm a good bartender. People get value for their money with me. They get good contents.
I like how you can double the drinks and make them big. That's the best thing.
Yeah. But yeah, Alan, you'll like the characters, I guess, once you get to know them. I mean, this is a game that is a bit of
It's
a slow
built
burner
around that.
because firstly it's built around the characters and it is a visual novel, so it takes its time to get going. Yeah, at the start it is a little bit odd, especially since one of the first characters you meet is like the prostitute girl who looks
the passed out girl.
Yeah, the prostitute girl that looks like a girl because that's what her clients want, and you're like, oh, this is going to go places, isn't it? But it actually makes sense as you get further in, and
you realize it's not what.
It's not what you think. Have you met the YouTuber yet?
I've met literally no one. I've done like the first like day and a half.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
You got heaps to go. I mean, you'll get to meet Mickey, which is the best character. She's the best. I love her.
She has twin tails, I'm assuming.
She does not have twin tails, but
Oh.
she does not, but she's very obviously based on Miku anyway. So
Oh, great.
she's great.
So I'm gonna
I
hate
think
it.
once you do the first like month, whatever, up to the first payments or whatever it is, like that's like all the introductions of all the characters. So they all
Not
come
entirely,
in,
because
really,
you meet the Jim Sterling later on.
Yeah,
Is
but
it Jim Sterling?
Yeah, there's a character that's based on Jim Sterling, and it is great. He's great. He's one of my favorites. He's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
what I mean more is in terms of the story, like progressing. Like the first bit is like all the introductions, and then once that's over, the characters are a little bit more open, and you can penetrate the conversation a little bit more with alcohol.
I would
Can
say
you not say penetrate the conversation without? That sounds awful.
I'd say, Alan, you're probably best to. I mean, you'll know if you're going to get along with the rest of the game by the time you get to the first drinking session with your boss. There's a scene a couple of hours in, I think, where you get a 12-pack of beer and you just sit there guzzling it with your boss, and that's the point where you'll know if you're going to enjoy the whole game or not, because you'll have a sense of the characters then, and you'll know whether you have favorites or there's enough there that you want to continue.
Yeah,
you would have met Logan Paul, the
Valhalla
girl,
the massive idiot dude who's like, I'm gonna buy a drink. Give me a drink. This place smells like piss.
The journalist, he's my hero.
No, not that guy. No, not Jay Jonah. The other dude.
The other dude.
Yeah, the other dude who's like,
the assassin.
What?
The assassin.
He's an assassin.
There's an assassin.
Oh.
It's a bald.
I think he's talking about the guy who spots a beer.
Yeah, he's like, I want a beer.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's from Texas, but he's from Texas now.
He's not. None of these characters are voice acted, so don't worry. You don't have to listen to a Texan accent.
No. We should do like a digitally downloaded cover, like voice acting for that game.
Oh, look, it's just me doing my like various terrible voices. Oh god. Anyway, yeah, Valhalla. It's a game.
It's good.
It's on
It's
Switch.
great.
That's how I'm playing it.
It's also on PS4, just released. It's also on.
No,
on
just play the
everything.
Switch.
It's on Vita. It's on PC. It's on pretty much everything at this stage.
Well, there you go. Shall we end the podcast?
Yes, and we will.
Can we-
And we will go to that Metal Gear Solid music we promised about.
No,
half an hour ago.
No, I've already cut that in.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
You've actually managed to find a cut, have you?
Yeah.
So we've got music to finish things on.
Yeah,
Some Valhalla music.
yeah, let's go Valhalla.
Miku
it's good.
Valhalla.
No, stop this Miku nonsense.
Matt has converted me.
No.
Miku's
He
great.
hasn't. I'm going to save you from your life of sin.
Miku's great. Miku's the best.
All right.
Miku's got a cover of Imagine. John Lennon's Imagine.
We're stopping now. was a shit show.
Yeah, because you're on, Alan.
Oh, this is gonna be fucked to edit.